Ice Cube is a motherfucking lyricist.
I can't stand Ice Cube.
That's crazy.
I'm not a fan of him lyrically or acting-wise.
Really?
He's the same in
How much time we got left here? Because should I just tell him to leave now?
I saw a comedian speaking kind of bad about you, man.
Who is this?
Aries Spears.
Oh, that dude?
Yeah. He said nothing
Is he a comedian?
Yeah.
Because he ain't never made me laugh, so I don't know if he...
You don't think that...
One of the songs I hate the most, if it comes on, I want to shoot the radio. Today was a good day.
You know it's bad when Ice Cube, the same legend who lit up the world with no Vaseline, pauses his billionaire business moves just to clap back at you. But that's exactly what happened when Aries Spears went off on Big Boy's Neighborhood, and not just a little. He came for Cube's entire career, the music, the movies, the legacy, all of it. Aries straight up said Cube is trash, not just as a rapper, but as an actor too. Like, whoa, that's a bold move, especially when Cube's name is etched into hip-hop history.
Great joke. He goes, here's Ice Cube as a gynecologist. Hey, Miss Jenkins, I looked at your chart. Now get up on that thigh.
That's racist. I don't know how it's racist, but what you just did is...
But Cube wasn't quiet. He fired right back and called Aries irrelevant, not funny, and said Aries ain't even on the radar when it comes to black comedy's top 10. Then boom, 50 Cent caught wind of it and couldn't resist. You already know if someone's getting roasted publicly, 50's jumping in. It was like blood in the water, and Aries was the one bleeding. Thing is, this whole mess kicked off from what was supposed to be a chill convo. Big Boy just brought up one of those regular who's your top 5 rapper lists. The kind of thing you hear in every barbershop, but Aries did what Aries always does. He went rogue, no filter, no hesitation. As soon as Ice Cube's name dropped, Aries pounced, and then he really crossed the line, dissing It Was a Good Day, one of the most legendary tracks to ever come out the West Coast. Like, seriously?
Not the greatest lyricist. He was energy. He was passion. He made you feel him. If that said, tear the club up, you wanted to tear the club up. Dear mama, you wanted to hug your mama. When you think about lyricism, Nas, Jay-Z, Biggie, Jadakiss, my lyrics spit.
Even Big Boy's co-host tried to smooth things over with a laugh, but Aries Spears wasn't letting up. Instead of backing off, he doubled down and went all in on this weird out-of-pocket impersonation of Ice Cube as a gynecologist. Yeah, you read that right. It was so cringe, the whole room went silent. Just awkward energy in the air. Everyone hit pause. It was like, yo, what are you doing? Aries had clearly crossed the line and nobody at the table was laughing anymore. Big Boy even tried to change the subject, but Aries just kept spiraling. And just when you thought it couldn't get messier, boom, he came for Tupac.
Watch the comments. Now, when people talk about, you ask anybody, no matter where their region, you know, give me a top 5 rappers. Pac's usually always in that list.
Right.
I don't ever put Pac up there with the top.
He didn't just throw casual jabs. He went all in, disrespecting legends, trashing the whole West Coast vibe. That's how you get yourself canceled out here. Fast. And the wildest part, Aries knew exactly what he was doing. At one point, he looked right into the camera and made it clear this wasn't a slip-up, it was intentional. And just like that, the internet exploded. One fan posted, "I love Aries' skills, but bro, that Ice Cube slander, that's a hard no." Another person went off saying, "This is why Aries ain't credible. How you gonna say Cube or Pac weren't lyrical? Sounds like he's just salty, cause the West Coast snatched the crown in the late 80s and 90s.
What he said?
What'd he say?
He said it was nothing about you impresses him. From movies to rapping, nothing at all impresses him. I'm like, wow, like what?
Suckers usually don't like me. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that you know, they usually don't like me when they coming from that angle. That's cool though. You know, everybody got their opinion and they all stink. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's cool. You know, he entitled to his opinion. It's the feeling is mutual. You know, I don't think he on anybody's list of top 10 comedians. You know what I mean? In the black community for sure. I don't even know if he's on the register with us.
What Aries didn't count on, the actual legends clapping back. Normally these OGs just ignore stuff like this. Let the noise die down, pretend the hate never happened. But not this time. Ice Cube came back swinging like a true icon. He didn't just defend himself, he shut Aries down, questioning if he was even funny, even relevant, or if he ever mattered in the world of black comedy at all. Ice Cube didn't just defend himself, he dragged Aries Spears' whole career down a few levels. Cube wasn't just clapping back, he was strategic, calculated, and cold with it. He's been in this game too long to let some random hit job slide without dropping receipts. Let's not forget who Ice Cube is. The man wrote for NWA, dropped one of the top 3 diss tracks ever, built a Hollywood classic with Friday, and then flipped into mogul mode with the Big 3 basketball league. Cube is certified across every lane, so when he responded, he did it like a boss, with precision and power. But Aries, he didn't get the message. Even after the legends called him out and fans roasted him across social media, he still pulled up on Vlad TV, doubling down like he didn't just get cooked. Mocking Cube once apparently wasn't enough. He had to spin the block and do it again. But here's what Aries completely missed. This wasn't just about Ice Cube anymore. Somewhere out there, probably chilling in a 5-star hotel, sipping something smooth, 50 Cent was watching it all unfold on his phone. And Aries, he'd been messy enough to throw 50's name into the mix too. Most thought 50 wouldn't even bother. The man is stacked with projects, running shows like Power and BMF, selling liquor, making moves in TV, touring, everything. But out of nowhere, 50 posted a slick video, all passive aggressive, not naming names, but everyone knew exactly who it was aimed at.
I gotta listen to this. Nah, this hot right here.
50 called someone delusional without even tagging them. Just enough smoke to make it loud and clear. But why did he even care? Simple. 50 and Cube have real history. Cube believed in 50's movie hustle before Hollywood did. And 50, he's always shown Cube mad love in interviews, always gave him his flowers. But Aries, he's the exact type 50 loves to roast, loud, cocky, and with no recent receipts to show for it. 50 sees that and goes straight into savage mode. And he even posted a bar. Check my temperature, I'm ice cold. The hood left the left side of my chest froze. Need help with your bills? I'll write you a referral-ish. Might even get you a love contract.
You had some words about Ice Cube recently.
You know, Willie D called me.
Okay.
I was in Louisville, Kentucky. And I love Willie D. That's my man. But this called me like I disrespected his mama. He was like, Aries, man, you don't understand what Ice Cube done did for the culture, man, and hip hop. Why you say? And I go, Willie, it's a subjective opinion. I'm allowed to not like Ice Cube. I know, man.
That's cold, literally. And once that hit, Aries started feeling the pressure and fired back with an emotional meltdown aimed straight at Cube. And Aries, he still wasn't done. You could tell he was hurt by what Ice Cube said, not just clowned, but really wounded. And that's when things started spiraling for real. Because here's where Aries completely ruined his own argument. In the same breath, he says he respects Ice Cube as a man, but then turns around and claims Cube's never done anything impressive, ever.
Cube was on when I'm just watching. Music,
and
all of it.
Movies, all of it.
Yeah. I never really seen Ice Cube in films that weren't his.
Mm.
You know, like he kind of produced the vehicle that he was in. And it wasn't like he was just being an actor in someone else's film.
Like what? That's not just a weak opinion. That's a full-blown contradiction. And people noticed right away. He didn't get dragged just for having a wild take. He got dragged because he couldn't stand on it. When the heat came back, Aries tried to play the victim and the internet ate him up. One person clapped back, "You can't drop a hot take and get salty when someone hits back with the same energy." Another posted, "You can have an opinion, but after that skit, nah, you not valid." Cube is a made man. But then it got real ugly as fans didn't just stay on this rap beef, they dug into his past, and suddenly this wasn't just about Ice Cube anymore. People brought up the Tiffany Haddish lawsuit, a dark moment from 2022 that never fully went away. Spears and Haddish were slapped with a disturbing lawsuit tied to a so-called comedy skit where a child is left alone with a creepy adult character played by Aries. The scene, super unsettling.
I'm the poster child for the world's biggest hater. If you look up the word hate, it's my picture. When did we get to a point where unless your opinion, and last time I checked as human beings, we're all allowed to opinions. At what point does it get to where unless your opinion is favorable about a person or a thing and goes with the flow of everyone else, you're a hater? I don't understand that.
The camera lingers in weird ways, and there was nothing funny about it. It sparked instant backlash. Twitter exploded. Even the Shade Room posted the clip, and when they drop something, you know it's serious. Even though the case got settled quietly and the video vanished from the internet, that stain on Aries' name never really faded. And how did Aries respond to all that heat? Not with silence. Nope. He went right back to Vlad TV like none of it happened.
He sent me a clip where Ice Cube responded. He was on a radio show and the dude played him the snippet. And the first thing Ice Cube says is, well, most suckers don't like me. Then he goes on to say, I never heard of this dude. Then he finishes by saying, well, he's just not funny. Well, you can't have it both ways. If you don't know who I am, how do you know if I'm funny or not? So you can't have it both ways.
Ready to talk again. People started peeping something real quick. Aries Spears was popping up on Vlad TV more than Vlad himself. Every other week, there he was again, complaining about being blackballed, ranting like he deserved the same spotlight as Kevin Hart. Fans noticed the pattern. He was talking way more than he was actually working. Instead of headlines for comedy specials or booked out shows, his name only popped up in drama. He was trending for scandals, messy interviews, or bitter hot takes, not for anything career building. Stand-up, cold, acting gigs, quiet, but dissing legends and stirring old trauma, that was Aries' new lane. And it wasn't looking good, but there's more. Behind the scenes, Aries got a rep, and not a good one. Multiple former castmates have spoken up over the years, calling him hard to work with, saying he came in with ego issues and always tried to outshine everyone else in the room.
I respect Ice Cube, the man. I respect Ice Cube in terms of what he's brought to the game. He's one of the pioneers. So hats off to him for...
It was like he couldn't share the stage, even with people who had his back. Sure, he's talented. No one's denying that. The man can do impressions, rock a crowd, hold attention, but he never had that Chappelle moment. That one defining breakthrough that takes a comic from good to legendary, and that kind of bitterness, it builds up. So why did this Ice Cube beef flop so hard for Aries? Simple. You don't come at a cultural giant and expect applause. Let's keep it real. No Vaseline is considered one of the greatest diss tracks ever, period. Friday, that movie didn't just launch a franchise.
I wasn't a fan of his artistry. I never attacked him as a man. I never attacked him in terms of his character. I said I wasn't a fan of his artistry. Why am I not allowed to feel that way? Why is that? And then secondly, it's always funny. People call me a hater because they love to highlight when I say I don't like something, as though I don't have love for anything.
It defined black comedy, gave us unforgettable characters, and became a staple in hip-hop culture. The Big Three League, Ice Cube created a whole basketball empire from scratch, now backed by serious investors and real NBA legends. And long before all that, Cube was writing hits for Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, MC Ren, crafting the NWA legacy, while most kids his age were barely passing high school. Meanwhile, what's Aries known for? A couple solid impressions on Mad TV, a few decent stand-up sets, and now going viral for the wrong reasons. Roasting icons on podcasts and acting like he's the victim when it all backfires.
Will never be satisfied. Why? Because some other mother will come along that'll take and blow the world up, and you'll want to be that. And there's some other will come around and have as talented as you, or possibly more, and then you're going to get upset because again, you focus on everything that is not you.
Hold up.
Everything you want,
wait a minute,
but not what's in your presence.
And this is exactly why fans sided with Ice Cube instantly. The respect wasn't even up for debate. But here's the final twist that really sealed it. Cube recently dropped a teaser cast list for the long-awaited Final Friday movie, and guess whose name was nowhere to be found? That's right, Aries Spears. Now, nobody officially said Aries was ever in the running, but the timing had fans talking. People were convinced Cube was sending a message loud and clear. You can clown all you want, but you're never stepping into these rooms. Doesn't matter how many voices Aries can mimic, when it comes to real Hollywood moves, he's not even in the conversation. He wanted to go viral? Congrats. He got it. But not for the jokes, not for the talent. He's trending because 2 certified legends called him a nobody. And the internet said, facts. Don't forget to subscribe, drop a comment, share this video, and tell us what you think about the whole mess. And of course, we'll catch you on the next one.